Welcome back to the Tiger Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the XTransbots MX-41T, T for toy. They also call it the youth version, and this is Groundbite. Now, this is a different deco, a slightly different deco and coloration of the first one that went on. The first one is sold out at Shozy Store, so this one's come in. I'll go into it a little bit more, but this is better priced than the first one, and it's quite interesting how they're doing it. And kind of impressive that they're doing this one even cheaper than the first one with more paint apps, but we'll get into all of that. But I did get this to Shozy Store. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. If you put TH in the support your reviewer on the main page, and that helps me out when you buy stuff there. But best price that I see is usually at Shozy. Anyway, let's get and take a look at this guy and see the comparison, the slight differences from the first one, and talk about this coming up. This is definitely a difference here. It is a different looking box. They changed it up just a bit. It's not exactly the same. I didn't dig out the other box, but I just remember it looking a bit different than this. It's kind of strange how they set it up, the orientation of this box. It's weird, long. You got a tech specs, good old-fashioned tech specs and stuff, but pretty simplistic on the box front. All right, getting into looking at this guy right out of the box, and he does look pretty good overall. I'm just gonna, I guess early on, just get right into it. Let's get right into it. Pop up picture here of what the other one looked like, and you're gonna notice this. So it has more paint apps in this area, and so this part here, instead of one solid red, it's broken up a little bit. A lot more stuff going on with a small little bits of detail in there. There's got the red down here. Now this is a whole different way they went about doing that down there, so that's different. I believe this thigh detail might be something that's not on the other one, but that's about it. Like, really, that's really the only difference. And with that, it's odd, but I had decided early on that I was probably going to keep the toy versions in the bot mode because I thought they looked a little more interesting from the pictures online. And so that's kind of the way I just started this, and so I've continued with it. And so with that, the standard ones will be the ones I build, and the toy versions will be the ones that stand in bot mode. And I was also kind of thinking the toy versions might have less die cast. I mean, there's something else to make them cheaper, because it didn't make sense because they were cheaper. But anyhow, there's not a big difference. I mean, in all reality, that's it. Still retains all of the same accessories from this. This is for the foot when it's in combined mode to give it more stability. These are the shoulder replacement cover pieces, which you can put on there, make it look more cartoon. We got both these instruments that they can play at the ceremony, and then we've got the leg piece right here, and I will get out and compare side by side that piece, but I think they're exactly the same. Let's look at the swords. Here is the sword that he comes with, which looks cool, and I'm definitely going to display them like this with the sword. Here is the gun, and it's got some paint. It looks good. They both look great. They look fine. They work. He didn't come, that I know of, with a sword in the toy, but they got to include a bunch of accessories to make this whole bit worthwhile. And yeah, with that, pretty good looking stuff. Also, I forgot to mention though, on the back, everything is exactly the same on the back as with the original release. So just cheaper, just $30 cheaper. Now getting down to comparing these, which on my screen right now, I'm looking at it, they look more blue than purple, which I think will still show up purple on my screen when I'm editing, but they look almost exactly the same. This new one here looks a little more vibrant, but that's all that, it's just eye of the beholder. They're pretty much exactly the same. I'm going to keep them separated on purpose in case there is some sort of slight difference I'm not seeing, but I don't see any difference whatsoever. So same thing. I mean, you're getting a second shot at this for cheaper and a little more interesting paint deco is pretty much what this figure is. Still a bit of articulation on this guy. This is just going back over the same stuff we've done before. His head's kind of a little looser than I remember. He goes up, all the way up, and then slight bit down. Shoulder goes to the 90. You can do the 360 if you want, if you're able to clear that. And nice and ratcheted. The bicep swivel, and it's on a relatively double hinge, but it is obstructed by this wheel or the wheel cover. If you have the wheel cover on, the hand goes side to side, goes out quite a bit, and fingers, you do have the what people like to call typewriter fingers. You got completely posable thumb and forefinger, but the 3 combined fingers on there, and a tab to hold the sword in, which it took me a bit to get the sword tabbed in. So I really wasn't a big fan of that part of it, but it's just kind of how it went. The tab was really tight in there. Now it's held in real well. You got the waist swivel and an ab crunch. Nice, to a nice level, nice degree. I've got the camera a little low because I usually don't get it low enough. Flipping up the hip flaps that are pretty well painted. It goes out to here on friction, but this part's ratcheted, this part is not. Go pretty much to the 90 to the front, and it's probably going to hit 90 there. Been a while since I've done the articulation on this guy. The knee is double jointed. Good stuff going on there. And everything going good with that foot. Now for comparison, and because this is going to be a relatively short video, we can talk a little more about comparisons. And this is the toy version of their first one. And I will say this was it long haul? This one was 109, but he's very, very lightweight because he is a torso, half a torso. He's a waist piece. What a waist. 109. This one's 119. The original versions of each of these were like 150. And Fans Toys version of this was 165. So 119 to 165, you're saving yourself a little bit of money there. So what, $45 getting this one versus the Fans Toys. You're saving $30 getting this one versus the original release. And as I said before, the original version of this is sold out on Shozy Store. I don't troll around and look around like where can I pay the most for it in the world and who's still got it. I don't do that, but I am saying right now for 120 he's available at Shozy Store, and I think it looks a lot more interesting and will be my bot mode representation, so I really have no interest in him being in the leg or alt mode or anything like that, but those modes do look good. So this is the affordable option. Now I do want to say this though, I do kind of feel like he looked better in the standard form. Now that I've looking back on it in hindsight is 2020, but I think I'm still gonna roll with the toy version in bot mode for all of these, especially him, because he really does look amazing in the bot mode. Here he is next to Negatron. Is Megatron having a bad day? The MP36 version of Megatron, and still the reigning king of masterpiece Megatrons, and somebody could do better in the future eventually, you know, XTransbots and their Polygon 2.0 if it ever comes out, who knows. But that's how he scales, and I'm fine with that. Everybody remembers the vintage ones came up to Megatron's waist. They were just tiny little, almost mini bots to the size that they were. But now in the show, they were a lot bigger, and so this guy is a bunch bigger. And I like the size. I like the scale. But also you have to think about the reality of this is they severely mass shifted from a little bitty guy to a ginormous, well, 21-inch combiner. What does that translate over into? Into cartoon inches, feet. Have you ever heard the phrase that you're so concerned about if you could that you're not really worried about if you should? Well, it doesn't matter. This is everything released so far for XTransbots and Fans Toys for Devastator. I'm keeping up with, I guess, 3 sets now. A toy version of XTransbots, a standard XTransbots, and Fans Toys. I would do 2 Fans Toys, but that's way more expensive, and there's no differentiation between them. So I'm doing 2 of the XTransbots. There's a whole lot of fun here, but I do want to show a couple of things. This is also going to be the clickbait. So here he is next to the leg form of the first release, and I thought, especially looking at the colors, I mean, really, if you look at the colors on the box, it really looks like this thing's going to be like hyper green. Hyper green, but they look to be exactly the same. And seeing with this, I don't see any coloration difference between them whatsoever. I mean, exactly the same. And so with that, no difference in that I can see at all between them. I mean, you can even see the chest on this. We could do a chest comparison, but we already did that with the pictures, but nothing different other than just the paint that's going on right here. Probably don't have enough light on it, but I saw someone do this pose with Fans Toys arm, and I couldn't figure out who it was. I looked and looked and looked, and I found it was Mang Motion. So shout out to Mang Motion for figuring out you can balance it like this. I tried to figure out a way to balance it sort of like that. I'd seen it somewhere when I did my review, but it kind of got to me, and I was like, I'm going to store this till we build Fans Toys, and I want to store it in a way that looks cool. That's a way that looks cool. And here's the Fans Toys one, and what we really can gain from this is that this, although there is paint to it, feels more like mostly plastic. I'm sure there's some level of paint to this entirely, but the Fans Toys one has a bit more of a sheen to it and a glimmer. So I'm just going to point that difference in the Fans Toys one out. And yeah, so anyway, fun journey with these Devastators. Alright, so I don't see any difference at all in the alt mode, so won't spend much time on that. If you want to see the transformation and all that good stuff and my initial thoughts and review of the alt mode, then check out my other review. But with that, it's solid. Don't know what else to say. Alright, so this is my look at the XTransbots MX-41T Groundbite toy version / youth version, and it looks fantastic. It looks every bit as good as the first one, and even better with the extra additional paint apps that are going on right there. I do like it very much. I don't like it because it's a toy look. I like it because it looks more interesting, and it's not too far off from the original. I did like the original one too, but I do want to say that I'm excited for getting this done. I never ever wanted to display the Toy World one in bot mode. In fact, I got it, put it in combined mode, and that was it. Never had any inclination to turn it into anything other than combined mode. With this, I am excited to have a bot mode set. I am happy and proud to display the XTransbots ones in bot mode, and I'm probably going to put the Fans Toys one in combined simply because of the fact they're probably going to be a little bit more solid combined. I don't know yet, though. We're going to find that one out, but I did get this to Shows You Store. I have a link down below where you can get yours. Remember, TH and support your reviewer code will help the channel out, and let me know what you guys think about this, and what do you think about the pricing structure? $30 cheaper if you get the toy version. Usually they're putting them out at the same time, which I hope they get back to, so I can compare them side by side as we're going through the video a little bit easier. But let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and Tyderum Hanger out.